How to teach my dog to come every time I call them, no matter what the distraction, whether it's a person, a dog, or some dirt to roll in. My dog believes that I'm better than everything else in the world. That's what you want your dog to think. So what do? You start with your dog wearing a harness. Now this is the rough wear flag line harness, and I like it because it's soft, it's got a lot of comfort, and my dog can't get out of it. And to that, I attach a long leash. I don't use a flex-a-lead. I don't like them. I think they're dangerous. People can get caught around them, and dogs can get hurt, and people can get hurt. So what I do is I use just a regular leash. It can be web, it can be nylon, it can be leather, and then I attach it to me. I tie it to me. So therefore, I can work in an area that's fenced, like my yard, or I can go to an area that's not fenced, like a schoolyard, or even just an area of grass. I want to make sure my dog is safe and secure before I ever take the leash off. So this is step one, attach the long leash. Then you want to have 4 rewards. First one, of course, is food. And you can start with cheese or chicken, hot dogs, anything that your dog really likes, and it has to be really good. And when you call your dog, I'm not going to let them out 20 feet. I'm going to call her from 2 feet, and I'm going to say, Nikki, come. And I'm going to feed her. And every time I call her, I'm going to back up. Nikki, come. Good. So she's learning that when she's called, she better come quickly or I'm going to get a little further away. So that's the first game we play. Then we play a second game. Now, if you have someone working with you, you can always have a person hold your dog. You can run away and get down low, call your dog, and let your dog race to you. That's a great way to teach come. If you're working alone, play a little game. Take a treat. And what you're going to do is give her about 6 or 8 feet, and you're going to toss the treat just out there and tell her, take it. And then, Nikki, come. Good girl. Every time I call her, it's a word that's happy. It's not Nikki, come. It's very happy, very light, so that she wants to come racing to me. And if she's doing well, I can always toss out another treat a little further. Nikki, take it. Good girl. And then it would be, Nikki, come. Yay, good girl. So she knows that when I call her, that she'll get a treat. I always give my dog a treat when I call them, because there's always going to be something out there that's going to be really interesting, and I want them to come. I mean, there was a rabbit on the hill the other day, so I want my dog to always come to me. So she's out there sniffing. So I'm going to say to her, Nikki, come, good girl, and I'm going to feed her every time. So let's say I've been working with this, and she's really coming, and she's getting further and further away. So I'm going to see how far we can toss it down the hill, and we're going to tell her, take it. Good girl. She's down the hill, so I'm going to say to her, Nikki, come, good girl. And I'm going to start to move away. Remember, you start to move away. So food is your first reward. What's your second reward? Of course, you. So when you call your dog, and I'm going to toss another one out there so she can find it. Good girl. And then I'm going to say to her, Nikki, come, good girl. And when she gets to me, I'm not going to feed her this time. Say, Nikki, come, good girl. Nikki, come, good girl. So what I'm doing is I'm getting her to come 2, 3 times before I actually feed her. You're being the game. You moving back and forth is what is a fun game for a dog to play. So we know that first is food, and it has to be really good food. Second is you. You can run back and forth. Third is a toy. Nikki's not so great with toys. Beezy likes toys. So, but if I have a toy and I'm squeaking it, and you have a dog that wants to play, then you're going to, when you call your dog, you're going to give them a treat, and then you're going to toss the toy. So it'll be, Nikki, come. Good girl. Come. Good girl. And then I'm going to take the toy and make it really interesting and toss the toy. Ready? Good girl. Ready? Okay, here we go. Ready? 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 Take it. Okay? And she's going to run over and get the toy, And know that the toy is a reward. So you have food, you have you, and you have a toy. Now your fourth one is also very important, and your fourth one is let your dog go back to what they were interested in. So if your dog is busy digging in a hole or looking at something and they begrudgingly come to you, first thing you want to do is give them a reward of a treat and let them go back to whatever they're interested in playing with. That's a good one to do when you have two dogs. As your dogs are playing, take a moment, call them apart, give them a treat, and then let them go back to play. That's a great way to teach your dog that when they come to you, it's not the end of the play, it's part of the play, it's part of the game. You're going to let your dog wander away, get further away from you. You know, even if they're out at the end of 20 foot or 30 foot, whatever line you have, that you can still move up quickly 10 foot and step on it if you need to. You don't ever want to take the leash and roll it in. You don't want to roll them in like a fish. You want your dog to come to you. So what do you do next? Well, I'm not going to cut this leash down. I'm just not going to take a leash and start chopping up my leash. So I go and get a piece of clothesline. Now, if you have a boat marina nearby, this is great for a small dog. This is just the cord that they tie the bumpers on. And what you would do is put a little clip snap on this, hook it to their harness, because this is lightweight and yet it's strong. Not going to use this for a Labrador, but you're going to take a strong piece of rope for a Labrador. And you're going to take this and you're going to attach it to their harness. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have it attached to you first, and then when your dog's coming to you really well, you're going to drop the end of it. Nikki, come. I'm just going to attach this lightly to her harness. This has got 2 or 3 different ways to attach things, but I'm just going to make a nice little knot there. And now she doesn't even think she has a leash on. It's so lightweight. And I will feel safer about having her go far away from me. I can hold it or I can drop it. So for a small dog, this works great, and it's strong. They tie bumpers on boats. So I'm going to toss another piece of cheese or food away from her, and we're going to let her go way down the hill. And we're going to say to her, Nikki, find it. Good girl. Now she's way down the hill. So now once she finds it, I'm going to say to her, Nikki, come. Good girl. And she comes back. Now she has a very lightweight lead on, so she's not feeling it at all. And then what do? I cut down the rope. So I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I will just cut off 4 foot, right? So this is not as long. And when she's coming to me from 20 feet away and I've only got 10 foot of rope, I'm going to cut off another. So now she's only got 10 foot of rope and she's 20 foot away. Can you see how dragging this light line, which is now only like 8 feet long, that she's going to start to believe she's free. And what I'm going to do is gradually keep cutting it down until there isn't any rope left. And your dog is coming to you off leash every time you call them. So after you keep calling, of course, and you're down to, say you've only got 3 inches of rope left and your dog is coming to you from 20 feet, then you just very nicely slip the rope off. And best way to do this is in a fenced area. Make sure you have all of your rewards and then play your game of tossing the treat away. Take it. Good girl. And so to her, there's no difference between on leash and off leash. Nikki, come. Good girl. She comes just as fast. She comes to me when I call her, and she is learning to come. So this is how to teach my dog to come every time I call them. So great game. Takes about 6 weeks to do it, but what happens is your dog will become reliable, come to you because you are part of the game and you're not just a side event and a disruption to their play. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos on come, this is how to teach my puppy to come off leash every time. And here's another one on teaching a dog to come when you call them. Thank you. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. Tell me how you've taught your dog to come off leash. Bye from Joyce and Nikki at Diamond Dog Training. Bye-bye.